Hi,
How are you, Kia?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Very hot, but very good.
Yeah, it's not hot where I am.
Here's 100 degrees.
Oh my God, that's so hot.
It's so hot.
It's literally cold. I'm still cold. I'm actually kind of mad.
For
Like,
real?
when is it gonna get warmer? It does not feel quite like we've had some days that feel like summer, but it doesn't feel like it to me. I don't like it. This is when I miss Miami.
No, this is like you go out and it's like the steam is in your face, and whatever you do in your hair doesn't last,
Right
and
on.
you
You can't wear
sweat
makeup.
and you sweat and no, and you sweat all over.
Mm, but your skin feels amazing.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah.
You have to
So,
wash your hair more often because the
more
sweat really,
showers.
yeah.
Yeah. My Johnny used to be like, everyone in his family takes showers like 3 times a day. I'm like, that's a lot of water wasted till I moved to Miami. Then I understood.
Then you know
Yeah.
why.
Then I know why. It's imperative, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, today is special. Today is super
Yes,
special.
it is.
It is our first ever multicast, and we are testing it out. So those of you who are watching with us are part of our experience with this experiment. So right now, hopefully, if this is going well, we should be live on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time.
That is wonderful. I
Yeah.
can congratulate us for that. That's is that's a big step for our career.
Because we make so much money
Oh
doing
yeah,
this
it's
show.
so much.
No, but seriously, we just love it. And before we go any further, we should probably introduce ourselves.
Of course, people don't know
Yes.
us.
If they don't know us, now they
Right.
will. I'm Kia Baker. I'm the host of the Female Veterans Podcast and the upcoming series for the Veterans Channel, Women Warrior Stories. And what I do is provide a platform for female veterans to share their true stories. Everybody should hear them, men, women, veterans, civilians, because these are real stories about women who have served. And good or bad, it's their truth. And in addition to that, I am a success coach at London Real Academy, where I help people achieve their goals at a rapid pace. So, with me is my beautiful friend, Gloria Goldberg.
How are you, Kia? Thank you for to give me the moment to introduce myself. This is Gloria Goldberg, the founder of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD. And also, I just graduate to be a public speaker because my mission is to inspire people that suffer from depression and anxiety and PTSD to feel better. That's my only mission because I've been through, I feel them, and I know how to feel, I know how to deal with them, and I try for many, many years in natural way and holistic way because I don't like to take medications. So I try to cultivate my body in the most natural way is possible.
Mhm. Of course, if you need medication,
Of
you got
course.
to do what you got to do. But
Of
I
course.
love that you do that in a holistic way. That's beautiful. Very
Yeah.
healthy.
I know it's not for everybody, but I challenge my body to go through. For example, the menopause that I'm going through, I let the menopause to go through. I know I having headaches, I don't feel well, I don't feel like 100%, but is the transition of my body getting older, and because it's like a other part of their lives. So I'm not gonna go run and take medication to balance my hormones. If I get maybe Kia in a point that I can tolerate myself and I'm a bad moody, the headaches I can tolerate it, or things I can tolerate, then maybe I will look for another outlet to feel better. But if I can't tolerate it, I would like to feel the whole changes in my body. What about
Yeah.
you?
Well, I'm a little bit a ways away from menopause yet, although I am wishing that it would just come on. And I don't know. It's like enough with this already. Can I just get a break? No, but really, I know that it's a lot of changes. But as you know, for my last pregnancy, I did something really unique. Well, it's not so unique anymore, but I had my placenta like dehydrated and encapsulated because it carries a lot of nutrients and it is like stem cell, so it can really help balance out your hormones. And so I have a tincture for that. Speaking of being holistic, that is good for that time. So I think taking a holistic approach as much as possible is amazing. However, I also am a firm believer that sometimes we just have to do what we need to do to feel better. So
Correct.
if it gets to a point where you can't manage it, I love that you're open to finding new ways.
Yeah, and Kia is more it's very important to talk about because we are women and there's like a taboos around everything. And menopause, for a lot of women, think that we are getting, well, of course we are getting older, but women think that, oh, I'm not attracted anymore. I'm not gonna be able to perform in the sex area better than before. And that's all myths. Everything is in your head. Is how you feel, and also you have to understand and embrace the age that you are in. You're not
Mhm.
getting younger. You're getting older. So you need to look always better and feel better to be able to support that age. Like I'm 47. I'm going to 48 in July, and I feel wonderful. Of course, I have wrinkles. Who doesn't? But I embrace that, and for me, I think it's very important to talk about those kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I think it's important to embrace aging. It's actually a blessing.
Yeah.
Every day you get to grow older. A lot of people don't, you know? And so I, like, for example, my father died very young. He wasn't even 40, he was 37.
Mm.
So, I mean, it was he wasn't ready, you know. He knew he was going to pass away, so he had time to adjust to that, but he didn't want to. So, it's a blessing every day to get to grow older, and if we take care of ourselves, then we, feel good as we're getting older. I feel I'm getting older, yes, but I still feel young. I still,
I feel
you know,
wonderful.
I feel good. I've been taking care of myself the last few years a lot better. There was a time when I was really sick, and through the VA as a veteran, I was getting my health care, and I was prescribed a lot of medication. And I kept telling them, I feel sick, I feel polluted, I don't feel well. And then it wasn't until I decided to take myself off of all of that and investigate gut health and, you know, um, dietary allergies and different things on my own and try to, as well as treat my fibromyalgia in a natural way, um, or treat the fibromyalgia that I have. It wasn't until then that I started to feel better, and I actually think I started to look a little younger too.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, thank you.
Other thing, Kia, I'm so happy because there's two women that follows me that are my friends. They are like in the challenge to let the gray hair to show, and I was like, oh my god, and then I said congratulations, and they said it's because of you. I said, oh, I feel so happy because it's like you inspire other women to get out of the jail of we have sometimes to put a lot of chemicals. I love to go to the hair salon, and I'm not in I'm okay with people who do everything in their hair, but it was for me too much because I put the color, and what week and a half already I was white, and I said to myself, I'm wasting my time, wasting money. Putting up my scalp was very itchy, I was very dry, and I said, why I'm doing here? And I remember that I told you the story that the lady who helped me in the house told me that I was covering myself because my gray hair, and that I said, oh my gosh, she's right. So I'm very happy for those two friends that are in the journey with the silver.
Mm. Well, I think that you look beautiful, and I've been watching your journey. So I think you look great, and you're such a good example for people like they can feel beautiful in their skin
Yeah.
and just natural. So so how are
Uh-huh.
you doing this week with everything? There's so much going on in the world. How are you doing?
Again, to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired and sick to see so many lies all over that you
Hmm.
just like lose the track to see which one is the true. So
Yeah.
what I do is look news both sides, both sides. I look social media. I watch social media, and then I make my decisions. I make my opinions. But right now is like is the criticism, is the greediness, is the false, and you watch all this, and I said, wow, we are doing all this like we teach our kids to be honest, to say the truth, that everybody is the same, to respect each other, and the first thing that you put the TV on is the opposite of what you teach to the kids. So I said, you know what, I like you, me, Kia, I minimize a little bit of watching TV and just focus in my work and my career and focus to inspire people and see what happens. But right now, it's a lot of things going on. What about
Yeah.
you? What do you think?
Um, for me, I know that there is always an agenda. Anything pretty much that happens, the powers that be pretty much have an agenda for it. Even the most like noble causes can become, soiled by, when it becomes political. So I'm concerned about that. I think it's really important, everything that's happening in the world, all the changes. I think it's necessary, but I'm also very concerned about um, what the real agenda is. And
Exactly.
I'm very curious to see how everything will play out. Um, I've been having a lot of conversations with people, especially about racial issues lately, because I have friends of every nationality, every race, every religion. I've
Right.
always been open to connecting with people. And I have found the most interesting conversations. And sometimes I have to like educate people, and sometimes I have to like just listen and understand where someone's perspective is. And so it's been really interesting, some of the things that I've seen, especially if I see like so much stuff on social media, and if I see something that I have to question, that I find questionable, on reaching out to the person that's my friend to say, hey, what does this mean? Can you clarify this for me? I need to
Right.
understand where you're coming from with this. And this has created so many interesting conversations. And one of them, I heard one of the most beautiful phrases probably ever, which was that duality is an illusion. That came from Simone. That was she's the host of the Black Sheep
I love
podcast.
her. I love her. She's
So
very
interesting.
cool.
And so we were talking about the agendas that are going on and how you have to be careful. And so I know that coming up, we have this week that personally will affects me is Rose Ike. The next one, I think it's four, and for London Real. So Brian will be interviewing him, and we've all been anxiously waiting for Brian to, say whatever he needs to say about Black Lives Matter and all of that. So I'm interested to hear what David Icke is going to say. Now, I already know he's going to say that it's an agenda, but I'm interested to hear more about what he has to say, because whether it is an agenda or not an agenda, it is a conversation that still needs to be had. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's navigated and how we all continue to navigate this situation that we're going through. I mean, it's a US election year, so I always expect the unexpected. So, but I loved when she said the duality. That was beautiful, I think.
Yeah, I would say, Kia, that in this moment, we need to be like open mind, because a lot of people, I'm like this, and I've been part of this, part of one of the political sides. I'm being like this, and I'm gonna be like this. But what happened if that political side, I'm not naming anyone, it could be anyone. What
Mhm.
about that political side? It's not correct. What if that political side is not real? What about they find a lot of lies? Then you're gonna keep believing in the same
Yeah, you have to
political
think for
part?
yourself. You have to think for yourself. I mean, everybody,
Exactly.
so we all can feed into things, I think. And we can all like side with something, right? And so I think I agree with what you're saying. Like you have to at some point you have to be open enough to question. You have to
Yes.
question everything these days.
Everything.
Really, you have
Everything.
to question everything, all the time, and make use your own discernment and make the choices that are best for you and your family. And because not everybody. I mean, the lines are really blurred these days on who's right and who's wrong on some topics. You know,
Exactly.
but because there are just some things that shouldn't be quite like human rights and decency shouldn't really be questioned. But I mean, there are definitely, you have to question everything, I think. And when you discover that you've been deceived and lied to, don't go down with the ship. Be open to change your mind and just go, okay, this is the same thing you do, with a lover. You have to be open to change your mind if it's not working out for you. You know what I mean? You can't just be
Open.
stuck, you
Of
know?
course.
So the same thing with everything that's going on now, I think. And when she was talking about the illusion of duality, I thought it was really beautiful because she was saying that we are all, we're all connected. We're all the human race. And if we recognize that, then we will naturally treat each other better, which is beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, Kia, it's like imagine a world that we all respect. Let's start with the respect, where we
Hmm.
respect.
Hmm.
But some people get mad because you don't think the way you think, or they get mad because you don't follow the political side of of the other person have, and I just like now that I need to watch everything, because we are here in the social media and we need to be aware of things too. I sit down and watch a little bit about one side, and then I change it to the other one, and use like a for real, like a for real, like you don't believe the lies and the emancipation of like, yes, this person, we're gonna do this, we're gonna open this, yes, let's open, but don't be like so vicious of the things that people sometimes say, vicious, like vicious.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's good and bad people everywhere,
Right. Let
There's
me
just
I'm getting low in my battery. Hold on.
okay. So anyway, my point is there's good and bad people everywhere. And so I think that we all have a responsibility to try to, be good
Sorry.
to each other where we can. And, when you watch both sides of the news, it's alarming. Like,
Yes.
it's alarming the disparities
Yes.
between the
Yes.
media. It's like it's really shocking sometimes. Sometimes it makes me so mad that I just stop watching the news. Right? I get my news in clips on YouTube.
No, sometimes I like to use like a 1 hour for one and 1 hour for the other one, and be open. And be open. And the decision is gonna make the one I think is feels the best for me. And I would never gonna say I'm gonna be like this or I'm gonna be like that. No. I'm gonna be the way I think is gonna be best for me, and I don't know if you can say for the rest of the country. I don't know. I think you have to say the best for me, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a personal choice.
Hmm.
Oh, look, we've got a comment. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with us,
Oh, thank you,
Charles.
Charles.
You stay blessed too. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
So,
it,
you
it's
know,
so sad. It's so sad right now. A lot of stuff, and but you know what? We are here to inspire and to make a little bit better the situation. You think?
mhm. I do think so. I'm all about spreading love, and that's what I do. So,
Yes.
I put love to put good energy out there and just have, good conversations with people. I mean, um, you have to be careful because there is a thing called toxic positivity. And positivity
Yes.
you think is a good thing, but it can go really, really wrong when you are oblivious to the issues, when you are oblivious to your own negative emotions, negative thoughts. That stuff has to come up, so, and be dealt with, right? So I don't want to be one of those people who are toxically positive. I want to
Oh,
be aware and acknowledge the things that are going on in the world, but and at the same time I do want to perpetuate, the things that I hold to be valuable to me, which is being good to people, standing in unity with people. And as a veteran, it says united we stand, divided we fall. So I believe in that. And I think if we stand together and try to make things better for people, that is what is important. So yeah,
and you
you
know
have
what,
to
Kia? Another thing, like I think, I don't know if you agree with me in this one. I'm a kind of person that I will never tell you what to do, what to choose, or what to be. Because I could be like encouraged, like inspire. I do this, I do that, but it's not mean that you need to follow everything I said or I do. It's
hmm
just for you to see that some things work for me and maybe some things don't work for you.
hmm
So my inspiration goes more in, like you said, inspired to be happy, to control your mind, to be able to go through this hard moments, to go through the situations that we are in, because by now we should be trained for all the things we already went through,
hmm
right? Right now I feel like people are more resilient, more like, okay, we already went through this pandemic, now we're going through this situation about races, now what is next? Now for sure they're saying in the next winter we're gonna have again the pandemic again, like the second phase, right? That's what they said. But who are so sure that the second phase is gonna happen? And that's like the thing that make me think about too much. Why so sure there's gonna be a second phase?
Right. Well, I think that they're doing research and they're trying to determine what's going to happen next. But you know, who knows what really will happen? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this year has been so crazy that I really just don't know what's going to happen next. And if you watch everything on social media and look at everything, you just never know. I saw an article today about Bill Gates and mosquitoes. Like I'm just like, what? I think it said something about, I only like scanned it, so you have to go look for it online, but it's like something about him using mosquitoes to deliver a vaccine. And I was
Oh
like, I
God.
don't know what to think about that. Like I can't. So I try to get off of social media except for, putting out positive stuff.
You know what, Kia? Let me say something about those mosquitoes, so people maybe understand a little bit. When I was younger, I went to the jungle, and I spent like a 15 days in the jungle in Colombia. And when I came back, I have 3 times malaria.
Oh my God.
And malaria, what malaria does, the mosquito bite you, right? And then 15 days later, you feel ache in your body, a lot of fever, you throw, you have diarrhea, but you don't contagious anybody. You get it because you was bite for a mosquito.
Hmm.
And when they was talking about this COVID-19, when they was talking about that, and they was very contagious, and then they compare with the malaria, And I said, wait a minute. By the way, I'm not a scientific or doctor and anything like that. I
Yeah.
said, wait a minute. Malaria, but I got malaria 3 times. It's because a mosquito bite. And my symptoms was fever, ache, my bones hurt, diarrhea, and vomit. And it was not contagious. So why I'm saying I'm repeating this because I want people to know when a mosquito bite you and you got malaria, it's not contagious.
Hmm. That's
It
interesting.
don't.
Hmm.
My mom also have at the same time like me the malaria because we both was in the jungle for 15 days. So we got by for those mosquitoes.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
It's terrible the sensation.
Oh, I can just imagine that. I mean, I've had a couple of bad flus, but nothing like that.
Pero Kia, you know what? If you compare the world the way it is, you can compare the world the way it is to our lives. If you know we have years that are very good and we also have years that are very bad. So this year for the world is very bad. And probably gonna be more years gonna be bad. And then it's gonna come back again at good ones. And that happens to everything. You have very
It's a
good
cycle.
days. Yeah, you have very good days and you have very bad days.
Hmm.
And we was not used to with this.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's something. It's definitely something new, and
Mm-hmm.
this year has been such a growth experience for so many people. You know, I talk to so many people who have gone through whatever they've gone through with Corona and being in the lockdown, and at
Mm-hmm.
this point, as we're entering the next phase, we're like slowly coming out of the lockdown situation. They're telling me how their lives have changed for the better,
Of course.
and I keep hearing that, just more and more people like, oh, I did this, I worked on myself through this, I created this business, I did this thing that, changed my life in some way. We're having a baby, where this person's getting a divorce because now they realize that their life is meant to go in a different direction. And while that's really sad, it's also happy too, because now they have a chance to be happier when they realize that they really weren't. So it's just been interesting to see how all of this has played out so far. And now everything with the riots and everything, and the protests. I don't want to say riots because it's not only riots, it's a lot of peaceful protests that are happening, but it is creating positive changes, I hope. So, but with anything, we got to see how it plays out. It's a necessary conversation no matter what the agenda is. That's my opinion.
Kia, can you clarify about the difference between riots and protests? Because I did have that thought, and my husband correct me about that. So
Hmm.
probably a lot of people think that protests and riots are the same, and my
Mm-mm.
husband told me it's not the same. Can you
No,
explain? Can you explain
no.
that?
Well, I can try. So when there is a peaceful protest, then you'll often see people with signs. They're just walking, they're playing music, they're chanting. It's there's no violence happening. Is That's the key thing. There's no looting, there's no stealing, there's no aggression. Everybody's in unity, walking along with the same message and the same feeling, trying to promote a positive change. That's what it's about. The signs, everything. They're trying to let the people who are in power understand that because there are few people in power, but we are the masses. So when we all unite in agreement to let the people who are in charge running the country know that we're upset about something, we protest. Historically, we get our signs, we go out, we march along, and we want to draw attention to that issue, right? And this is a global issue because people are protesting everywhere. Now, with a riot, that has a lot of violence involved with it. Violence, as in people are breaking store windows, people are stealing, fights are breaking out. The police are often having to use force to get it under control. It's a very different energy, and this also brings attention to a cause, but not always the best attention. It's kind of like when your kid is being bad, to get your attention. They want attention, but it's in a negative way. It does bring attention to the issue, but often what happens with riots is that the people who are in power will use that as an excuse to disqualify the actual legitimacy of the cause. So that is why, riots often hurt a cause more than they help. But at the same time, when someone has, or a group of people have felt such outrage, sometimes that anger spoils over and we've all lost our temper, right? So you can sometimes think of a riot as being people lost their temper about an injustice, and this is what happens. And a lot of the mentality can be like, okay, so Target, they have insurance, they're going to replace these things. And I'm not justifying it, I'm not saying it's right. I actually don't get down with rioting. But I'm not going to hold anybody in judgment because I understand the anger. But you're taking things, and in a way it can be thought like I'm taking from the man, in a way, like I'm, so they don't have, it's a disconnection of, that they're actually really hurting anyone, because a corporation is not really a person, this property is not really a person, and these people have been so disenfranchised a lot of times that these are things that they would never be able to get because of the system that's been holding them back. So in a way, I'm just trying to explain a little bit of the psychology as I understand it, because again, I'm not a doctor or a professional, but I have been around for some years and seen some things. And I do a lot of research. So this is my understanding of how riots happen. And then you also have to understand that in this situation, there's a lot of there's agendas involved. So then you have people going out inciting riots and then staging things. And it's like a really bad reality show sometimes where you see these things in the media, and then they have these clips that they show to the right and that they show to the left, and then they're spinning the narrative to feed sort of energies
Emotions.
and stoke these emotions, right, on either side, right? And this year, if you think back and you look at recent years in our every election, things happen. The worst one was the last one, right, where we all know that Russia was involved in our election. So, and there was a lot of disinformation being used as tactics, right? So, this is another US election year, and the gloves come off, basically. So, it remains to be seen how things will go. But just to be aware that, what our friends, we have a lot of global friends, and a lot of our guests come from other countries, and we get a chance to talk to them, and what they're being shown from the United States is not necessarily what we are experiencing. Right. So their images that they're getting, and they're like, wow,
It's three
America,
times. It's three
right? Right.
times.
America's burning to the ground. I have had so many people reach out to me like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like,
Mhm.
what? Like, I'm in my house. I just had lunch. Like, what? But not to say that there are times, and with the curfews in Portland, they have a curfew, and all of these things happening. So it is happening. I'm just happen to be away from the center of where everything's happening. But my friends around the world have the perspective like it's everywhere where these things
Yes.
are happening. Like America's just burning down from the inside out. It's the destruction of America, right? That's what they feel like they're seeing. So it's just an interesting perspective.
It's a subject that is you don't stop to talk about it. There's so many things out there that you don't know. But
Hmm.
we should shift the conversation and leave
Let's do
that
it.
away because you
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
enough of
So let's talk about relationship. I know you love that.
that. I do love to talk about relationships and healthy relationships, but the most important relationship is the one to yourself.
Yes, that's the main one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because once you happy with yourself, everybody around you is gonna feel that energy, and people's gonna start changing around you.
Hmm.
Because if you think you're gonna change people, nope, you're losing your time. but you can change yourself, and that's the one is more difficult one because we don't, some people don't want to do the work, and this is a constant work. Like for example, with our friend Amar, that he's doing the challenge to be grateful for 30 days. I started today, so
Did you?
I'm going into July 10. I'm gonna post every day what I'm grateful for.
That's beautiful. Gratitude is the highest frequency. So if you can be in a state of gratitude no matter what's going on around you, so they say you manifest better things in your life, and you feel more fulfilled. You know and it's just a better feeling.
Yeah. So how you been feeling in the relation with yourself? How you been feeling lately?
Well, I've had a lot of things happen lately, changes in my life, which have taught me a lot of things about myself and about other people. And what I have found is that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was, a lot smarter than I thought I was, and that I am still learning a lot about the dynamics of relationships and how people are. And that makes me feel incredibly empowered.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of changes on YouTube. On YouTube since we start being friends, since we meet each other. And I go back to our pictures and wow, how much we changed, how we grew. We look much
Yeah.
better now.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that when I was promoting this episode, and it was just us two, and I wanted to have a picture of us from back in London, and I had remembered that you posted a bunch of them, and I loved that. So I was looking at that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're so different. It's like we both sort of grew up in a way, still growing.
Yeah, so Kia, let me tell you, I have already 4 weeks that I don't fight with anybody.
That's amazing.
Do
That's
you
amazing.
remember how I
Mm-hmm.
was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your guru helped you get your temperature under control. Harataki.
How did Taki make me change my life?
Mine too, actually. Mine, I became more intuitive, actually. I started to listen to my intuition more. And actually, I learned the difference. So when I don't listen to my intuition, I make poor choices. But if I listen to my gut, and then I learn to recognize it also. So if I'm like, if I have the sensation I should or shouldn't do something, and I do it anyway, and then I get the repercussion of that, then I'm like, my intuition told me not to do that stupid thing, but I did it anyway. Like, and now I learned. So then hopefully you get better. At least I get better. So
People don't know how to listen to the intuition, and it's very simple. You just need to start connecting more and more with yourself. For
mhm,
example, if you're gonna make a decision, and you know you need to make a decision, to just pause and see how you feel in your body and see how your gut your body tells you if it's right or wrong. If something tells you wait, you should wait. If something tells you go ahead, you go ahead. When you go and you're gonna make a change and it's the right thing, you feel it right away, you feel it that is right. But when you have like I don't know. Pay attention to that because that's when the intuition is telling you that probably you need to wait or pause and think what you're doing.
mhm, mhm. I will tell you what, like these days, sometimes, I'll have my intuition will be like, take some space, go within, focus on yourself. And when I do those things, I feel a lot better. A lot better. And I didn't realize how intuitive I was until I learned that you could develop that. And so for a while now, I've been really working on it. And it's been really beneficial to me. I'm learning to listen, but listen to my own inner voice, and that's trying to guide me, right? And I also love what you said about you feel it in your body, because you do. It's like an emotional body, and you get the sensations when you start to learn how, when my body will tell me not to go, like not to go somewhere, or maybe not even to answer a certain phone call. and I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna listen because I feel, why am I feeling this? That's what I say to myself. I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Then I think more into it.
Even if you are late to go somewhere, you don't like, oh, I'm so late. Oh, it's for a reason you're late. Well, if you're not used to be late for everything, but if you are not used to be late for everything and you're late, it's also for a reason. And I remember, Kia, a long time ago, I didn't listen to my intuition, and it was terrible because I was going away with my husband, and the lady who was gonna take care of my dog came to the house. And the moment that the lady put the feet in my house, like she entered into my house, she fell in the floor, and she was in totally pain, and she said, no, no, you guys go, I stay, no, 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 you guys go, yeah, because you guys have to go, I stay with the dog, I'm okay. And I was telling my husband, no, I don't want to go. And my husband, but we already have everything ready. I said, I don't know, I don't want to go. For some reason my husband said, no, let's go. And we go. 3 days later they called me that the lady was hospitalized. My lady was hospitalized. I broke my ankle, and my husband got sick.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Same thing in the same week. And I said to myself, wow, that my intuition was telling me not to go, and see, here I am.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. That is a crazy story. I will tell you what, I have had so many stories like that where I just didn't listen to my intuition about a person and ended up in a terrible situation, or didn't listen to my intuition about not going somewhere and had a miserable time.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like learning the hard way until you start to listen.
I said, wow, wow. And the intuition was telling me the whole time, don't go. And I was feeling bad. I was feeling sick. And I went through to the port very sick. And I said, I said to my, I'm not feeling okay. She's okay. She told us that she's gonna be okay, and let's see what happens.
Wow. Well, I guess you saw what happened. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't go so good. Oh no.
And sometimes with the driving, I told my husband I want to drive, and he said, "Why? I don't know. I want to drive. I don't want you to drive." And one day we was driving in a car in a highway, and in a car, a friend of ours started like a hitting like backwards in an accident, and the car came in like in front of us like that, and I was able to maneuver, and my husband was like that, and I was like and I don't know how I just maneuver. And I said to my husband, "You see, that's why I told you I want to drive." Because I know if it was
Wow.
him, it we probably would be.
That is so spooky. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
You guys have been in phase 2 for a while now. What have you been doing with your time? Are you going out? What are you doing? Are you back to yoga yet? What's up?
No, the yoga studio is not open yet.
No? Okay.
No, I know gyms are open. Gyms are open.
Mhm.
Mostly of the things are open. I'm not sure movies. I think it was gonna be open soon. I'm not sure. But me, we are not going anywhere yet. But today we said, yes, we're going out because today is my husband's birthday. So we're going out for dinner. It's the first time we're going out for dinner like that. So let's see what
Mm.
happens.
Happy birthday to Gloria's husband.
Yeah, 57.
Wow, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
He's blessed. He got another day, another year. So
Uh,
that's wonderful.
Old man.
Well, you love that old man. You guys are still having fun, and it's awesome that you guys are going out to have dinner tonight.
What about you in your area?
Ooh, well, I live on the border of Washington and Oregon, and they're in phase 2, I think, in Portland, which is the closest city to me. But where I am, I'm still in Washington State, and we are just going into, I think we went into phase 2 this week, but I have appointments lined up, but not until the week of the 22nd. So
What about nails? I saw that you don't have your nails done.
no, my nails are not done. Actually, I had them painted because I have my own kit at home, but I took it all off to give them a breather to get them ready for the tips. Because in like 2 weeks, I have an appointment to go get my nails done, of course. So I'll be back to normal. And also, all my self care stuff, I try to, do beauty treatments a couple times a month just because they make me feel good for no other reason.
The other day I went a little bit north. I went to a store, and a lot of people don't wear a face mask. You go to the restaurants, you don't need to wear the face mask. It
Mm.
was kind of, oh my God, I love this. And I remember I text you, I'm moving here.
Yeah, I actually read an article about that in more rural communities that they're not following the same policies as in the city. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but I guess we just don't know. Like you have to be careful. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't go anywhere really, so I don't ever wear a face mask, but my son bought me one.
So you don't go out to the house yet since we started?
I mean, not really. Like, well, I've been out and outside, but I haven't gone anywhere really. Like, I haven't gone to a restaurant because they're not open. I haven't gone to the
Ah,
grocery
okay.
store because, well, there's lines and I don't want to be
Mm.
bothered with that. I just can just get my groceries delivered, and I'm busy. So my work keeps me super, super busy. And I like to stay connected with former students. So, in between the time that I'm working, I'll take my breaks are usually to talk to my former students and hang out with them and help them anymore if I can, or just connect with them. So, I'm very blessed to have like friends all over the world, that I keep in touch with.
But eventually you need to start going out because this is not also very good to be all the time inside.
Yeah, and I know that. So, but and once I have an appointment somewhere to be, I'll go. And they are coming up, so don't worry. I'm not getting like agoraphobic or anything. I will emerge back out into the world very soon. But for now, my life was already like that. I only left home when I had something I needed to do or to go hang out with my friends. And so until that sort of picks up again, then I don't really have anything to do out
So,
there.
so Kia, I have a question for you. The micro blogs that you do, that are based on your story, on your life?
Well, the things that I've learned on my healing journey, and to be more self aware. So I feel like we have a duty to share education with people. And once you know something, if you can help, I'm older now, and there's a lot of people coming up behind me. It's something I say at the end of the Female Veterans podcast as well. And I always ask my female veterans what advice they can give for our sisters coming up behind them. And this is
Yes.
like something I do in my life. So for the people who are coming behind me who are younger than me and they're going through different phases of their life that I may have already experienced or learned the lessons of, I love to share those lessons to if it resonates with someone and it can make their life a little bit easier, then I love to do that. In addition, I'm a child abuse survivor, and having my life start in such um, a negative way, my early years were very difficult. So it made my life harder and harder to achieve things because there's a lot of trauma and issues that I had to cope through and learn through and heal. And I'm still healing because it is a process that you just continue all the time. So what I do is I want to help people who have experienced some sort of childhood trauma or teen trauma or issues to help them understand that the reason why that maybe they're not achieving their dreams is not necessarily their fault, is that they've had a little harder than some other people and they've got to fight a little harder for it. And if I learn something that can help them thrive, then I want to share it. That's how
Me
I spread
too. Me too. I want to help my girls. I want to help my girls that are suffering a lot with the boyfriends and with these men. I'm not saying men are bad. No, men are not bad. The
love.
point is
Wonderful.
They're wonderful. I love them. It's sometimes you don't match with that man or with that woman, but
Yeah.
sometimes they fixated and there's like why me? Why this happens to me all the time? And sometimes you need to break patterns that we create. So sometimes we get the same person with different names, means
Yes.
with same
Hmm.
attitudes, same thoughts, the same way they walk or they talk or the way they treat you, and you say, "Wow, why again this person is like that?" And it's because
Or
we have patterns.
or you can come across something new that you've never experienced before and you don't understand it. And it just takes you a minute to like figure that out. And then once you figure out that what this is, like, so for example, you come across like the young girls, they come, or even us older ladies can come across a player, but you might be well versed in player activity, but you come across a different kind of player that you've never experienced before, and so almost like it's a case study. And until you figure out that game, like, then you're sort of in it until till you have that moment. So we're always still learning, you're always coming across different kinds of people. So I feel like once I learn, then I can help those coming up behind me. And that's what I do. That's kind of what my blogs are about.
You know what, Kia? Sometimes I listen to my daughter friends. Sometimes I listen to them, and it's almost kind of the same story that I listen to them. And I know this is what happens. They met a guy, and the guy start calling them because they start calling like crazy in the beginning, right? Until
Oh,
they
don't
get
they?
what, and they get when they get what they want get. So the weekend is coming, and Fridays, oh, I'm so busy. I need to travel. I need to do. I may call you. Saturday they don't call. Sunday they don't call. But Monday they call right away. And when I hear the stories about this girl, I said, "Are you guys are like, I don't know, like dummy? If a man is like calling you from Monday to Friday, very good and no problem, and Saturday and Sunday they're super busy, that right there's a flag, it's a red flag. And I'm gonna tell you, Kia, we go to the bathroom with the cell phone. Sometimes we take a shower with the cell phone. We eat with the cell phone. We do everything with the cell phone. And send a text or a phone call, it takes nothing to do. So when a man tells you they're so busy, cannot text you, that's a big BS.
Mm, I agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of things like that women deal with. Guys deal with it too, though, for
Yeah,
because
guys too.
there's player chicks just the same. So like, it's the same thing. So I think when we share this information, or I do my microblogs, if you read them on my Instagram, then you will find out that it can go both ways and that you take what resonates with you, whether
You
you're
know,
a guy or a girl.
you know what goes in women to men? There's a lot of men like also wanted to have a relationship with a woman, desperate, so you can see the desperation right away. So the guy start being sending you pictures right away, telling you that he likes you a lot, and like a right away, like a very very so women are not stupid. Women are, oh, he's so desperate. Let me grab him. I want this. So women start, oh, I need to pay my bills, I'm sure. So the guy, oh, okay, how much you want? And goes, and the list goes on and on and on. So I'm not saying the only men or only women have the problem.
Right.
There's all kind that they abuse women and they abuse men. The other
Hmm.
day a guy write to me, oh, you stole from me $10,000. I said, how? Yeah, I sent you $10,000. I said, me? Let me check my account. No, I don't have $10,000
I
from
don't think I
you.
will make a mistake.
No. And he told me that somebody got a picture of me and start talking to him. And I asked this question, that this woman FaceTime you? No. So how you be able to send $10,000 to a woman that you don't know and you don't even FaceTime? And I said, I'm so sorry, but you're so stupid.
I mean, here's the thing. That's so sad. It makes me feel so sad for the guy. But I got to tell you, I will get guys that try to talk to me and send me DMs. We all know the famous dick pic. um,
Yeah.
but like, I will get these guys, and if they want to keep talking to me, I'm like, send me a video. Send me a
I
video, because there's so many like catfish out there. There's so many anything like that. And I think if I haven't like seen you and talked to you and know you from somewhere, you know what I mean, then I don't think that we're gonna make a connection. And also, I love to observe, and I like to like really determine whether we're a fit or a match, right? And that's how I go. Like, I don't, because a lot of guys, they pour on the charm, and they play these games, right? And I like to sit back kind of a little bit and watch them, and I like to see what's going on here. And sometimes I get a little bit in, and then when I catch myself and I'm like, wait, let me see what is really going on here. And then I learn what the game is. And I love that, because then I can help my sisters like recognize it when it happens to them. And then I can say, okay, well, look, I know what this is. We're not a fit, because I'm not that the kind of girl that likes to be stuck on a hamster wheel like that. You know what I mean? So
mm.
it's good to know. I love these experiences. I love them. I love them
I
because
already, yeah.
well,
I already gave like advices to men that they send me pictures, and the first reply I said, "Why you are sending me pictures of you when I'm not requesting your pictures?"
right? Like, why do that?
And they do it, and oh, I'm so sorry. I said, "You don't read my profile that I'm a married woman?" They don't reply anything. I said, you should check first the profile of the women to before you send a picture, if you're so serious and you're so, gentleman. Because I don't think you would like to, your women or men, receive pictures from other people that you don't even know. And then I said, I'm sorry, but you look very desperate. Be careful with the women that can abuse from that.
It's true. It's true, because people will just, play games. This is why you know what, I have been single for a while now, and I love it. That is what my advice is for all the women and even men out there, is learn to love being single and taking care of yourself. There's something so freeing. And I mean, I was in a relationship for a long time, for a lot of years, okay? And relationships are all about compromise and meeting each other's needs, and having your boundaries, and trying to be interdependent but not codependent, and all of these things, right? And it's great to have a partner and all of that. I get that. But sometimes there's something to be said for just being on your own, making all your own decisions, doing everything just the way you want it to be done, and not having to worry about needing a guy, or wanting a guy there. It's sometimes nice to just have that break. So
I always like to be with someone. Love that.
really,
Yes.
I
I,
need
it, I
breaks.
don't know if it's a problem, but I like to be always with someone. I don't like to be alone.
I don't know. I would look into that. I'm not sure if that's the healthiest thing, Mama. But I'm not mad at you, because being in a relationship is a really lovely thing. It's really nice. But for me, I think in my old age, we'll say, I don't have tolerance for a lot of fuckery. That's all I have to say. So I enjoy like just hanging out and having fun and going with the flow these days. And come what may, yeah, that's good. Not, but I love being with my friends and just hanging out and having fun.
I think when I was kidnapped for those 3 months, I said, no way, I'm not gonna be alone after this.
I could understand that. I could understand that. I could see how that could make you feel that way, actually. But you know what?
Yeah.
I just looked at the clock, and it's 59 minutes.
Wow, I see the same clock. Yeah, 59 and 38 seconds. Now,
Yeah.
yeah.
What a great chat. We just come here to hang out with each other and hopefully add value to people who tune in. So,
You know what? And also, is for people who listen to us and follow us, if you want to be in our show, be present, and we probably click you on you and send you the link so you can come in and talk to us and ask questions. And also, you even can even talk about anything you want to talk, and we will
mhm.
listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as it's not too crazy, because I'm
No, no.
don't come with fuckery. I just
No,
said I
no, no.
don't.
If it's crazy, we cut it like a right away.
But seriously, though, I love to engage with people who watch and leave comments. And, we're always saying send us a message for our Hot Topics Live inbox with a topic you want to talk about. We have friends that are podcasters and entrepreneurs from all around the world. Usually we have someone with us. Today we just wanted to hang out. It's been a while since it was just us two. So, but send us a message, drop us a comment. Oh, look, speaking of dropping comments, we have a comment. Oh, look, it's our friend Charles. Look, he left us another message. Thank you
Ah,
so much, sweetie.
thank
Thanks for hanging
you.
out with us. So, yes, so if you're watching, don't be shy. Send us a comment. We'll post you up here. Send us a message. We might even put you in the show. And we appreciate you. Right,
Kia,
Gloria?
who we having tomorrow?
Okay, so hopefully she can still make it. But so there's a bill about creating a Women Veterans Day. So I thought it'd be really cool to invite one of my veteran sisters on the show. And you can ask questions to her, and I can ask questions to her. She has her very own podcast, one that when I was doing my competitor research was the only one as close as I could find to what I wanted to do. And so she's sort of an inspiration. I didn't know that she was there when I decided to create the Female Veterans Podcast. But once I found her, I was so excited. I didn't really look at her like a competitor. I was so excited about the fact that there was someone else in the space that we became friends and we worked together to bring light on female veterans. And she does active duty military too.
That's
So it'll
awesome.
be cool. And we can talk about the bill and what it means to us and just hang out for an hour with a really sweet person. She's really sweet.
That's awesome. That would be cool. The veteran day for women. Beautiful.
Yeah, right? That would
Oh,
be
so
beautiful.
cool. Yeah.
And in addition, they're proposing that it be on June 12th every year.
Why June
So,
12th?
well, actually, I don't know why they picked that day, but it's probably an available day, a good time of year. I'm sure they have their reasons. Maybe I'll find out. We'll ask my
Yeah, we should find out. Yeah.
friend. And but it is the day after tomorrow. So I thought it would be appropriate, being that tomorrow's June 11th, that and June 12th is the next day, to have her come on and we could talk about female veteran stuff
Kia,
for that.
before we go, are you gonna be in the challenge with Amar about the to be grateful, three things that you need to be grateful for 30 days?
Well, I'm already grateful every
No,
day.
no, but for 30 days.
Well, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll join in. I feel like I
Yeah.
can't commit. I mean, no, I mean not to the challenge, but it's like then I have to put a picture every day. They have to tag a minute, and I'm so
No,
busy.
just a little video. I'm grateful for this. Ding, 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 ding. That's it.
We'll see. Maybe you might be able to talk me into it. We'll see.
You should.
I promise you, I'm grateful. I do my own gratitude every single morning already. So it would
Me
be
too.
easy to do is just taking the time to post the picture and do all that when I have like a million other things to do at all
No, me
times.
too. No, I'm gonna do it because a lot of people would like to hear that, and probably people get engaged on that, and people will start changing lives, and that's what I want. I want to be inspired. I want to inspire people.
Mm. You put it so beautifully. I'm really going to have to dig deep to see if I can pull that off. I struggled with the 21-day self-love challenge.
You
And that was
struggle?
just me on my own with you and Dawn.
It could be like it could be as simple like tomorrow. I know already what is gonna be my grave. My I'm
Yours.
grateful because today I'm gonna do my nails. I'm grateful because I have the money to do my nails. That could be something too.
That is a big deal. I,
Yeah,
you could be like, I'm grateful that I woke up today to do my nails and I have the money to do it.
yeah,
That's three things right there.
right there.
I
I'm
can't
grateful
wait
to
to
have a
be grateful for
shower.
getting my nails done. Yeah,
All right, so we think we need to wrap it up.
let's do it. It has been a very, very fun hour hanging out with you as always, Gloria.
Thank you, Kia, for that. I'm very happy to share my time with you all the time.
So, and this is our first time on YouTube, so we'll see how that went.
Uh, Hello to YouTubers. We became a YouTubers.
We became YouTubers today. What's up? What's good?
So now I can say I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, you can say you're a YouTuber now.
We have a
We're
channel.
We do. We have a channel. It is Hot Topics Live on YouTube, and you can send us comments. And from your comments, we will try to pick topics if you have them that interest you, and try to include you in the show if we can when we're live. And pretty soon we're coming to Twitch too, so we're gonna just be all over the place.
So we need to start like a learning. If you want to subscribe, subscribe us here. Or link down below. Press the button. Follow me.
Yeah.
Follow us.
Yeah. We'll see
Okay.
how this evolves. Anyway, we're just flying by the seat of our pants. Legitimately, we have no idea what we're doing, but we just keep doing it because we hope that our message resonates with at least one person and
Right.
can make brighten their day. So,
Right. So where we said subscribe here, here,
I don't
here,
know where it is. We're gonna. I think it's down.
down.
I don't know. Somebody tell us.
Okay.
Let us know where we're supposed to point for
Right.
to tell people to subscribe. Anyway, so let's wrap it up, shall
Yeah.
we?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You go first, my love.
Okay. This is Gloria Goldberg, the founder of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD to make you feel better. And also, I'm a public speaker that I like to inspire people. And my mission is to talk about depression and anxiety and PTSD in a very natural way so you'll be able to understand and to be able to maybe feel much better.
I love that. I love that you make people feel much better. And I am Kia Baker, if you didn't know. And I am the host of the Female Veterans Podcast and the upcoming series, Women Warrior Stories, on the Veterans Channel. And you can also hear my podcast on the veteranschannel.com as well. And I am a success coach at London Real Academy. So there's that. And thank you for joining us for an hour. We appreciate you. And as always, leave us a comment, send us a message. We love to hear from you and communicate with you. So have an amazing day.
Thank you so much to be today here with us. And remember, if you watch us, is you support us more, and we'll be able to have more time here too. Enjoy time with you guys.
Well said, my love. Bye for now.
Bye bye. Love you all.